Hey y'all, welcome to the Higher Conference. I'm excited. I hope y'all excited. I'm waiting for all the comments to come through in the chat, but I know I seen Cam here, so hey Cam, welcome to the conference, y'all. I'm excited because today is just gonna be full of information and fun, and the topics this year is just like over the top. Like cohort 3 then outdid this out, so I'm excited for y'all to see all that we've been saying over these past 24 weeks. So they've been working hard, and I'm excited for y'all to see that hard work because they're proud of it, and I'm proud of them. So hey everybody in the chat, hey Santana. So we're just gonna let everybody roll in for a little bit, and then we're gonna get right into the conference because we don't got no time to waste. These are a little lengthier presentations. Y'all know we gotta give y'all all the information. Y'all know we high. We're not gonna give y'all no 15-minute presentation. So definitely got to give y'all some good presentations. So as everybody comes in, we'll get started shortly. I see somebody says greetings from Southern California. That's far. Now wait a minute. Wait a minute. How you getting too big for me? I don't know if I can handle all this. All the way from California? Like that's far. That's far. I'm excited, but welcome everybody. Welcome to the Higher Conference. And we're gonna be getting started in a few. Well, we can get started right now. So, hey everybody, my name is Gemma Chester. I'm a youth advocate and leader here in Baltimore City, as well as a entrepreneur and artist, and of course, I'm a higher ambassador. So, I'm from cohort 2, and I've been through the same process last year. Sometime it was a long time ago, but today I'm here to welcome and be your host tonight for the cohort 3 higher conference. The break can. What time is it there? So, Haya is the Healing Youth Alliance. I'm sorry if y'all hear me saying Haya a lot. That's what we call the Healing Youth Alliance. So, in partnership with Heart Smiles, we would like to thank Miss Joni and, of course, Miss Money Mo for that wonderful partnership from Heart Smiles. Y'all know we love Miss Joni and Miss Money Mo. So, definitely a huge thank you to them for running everything they do over at Heart Smiles. And the Healing Youth Alliance is also in partnership with the Black Mental Health Alliance. So we have Miss Andrea Brown, Mr. Richard Rowe, and Miss Nia Jones. And y'all know, as higher ambassadors, we are taught by Miss Nia Jones and Mr. Richard Rowe during our 24 weeks of training. So we definitely want to give a huge thanks to the Black Mental Health Alliance. And of course, the University of Maryland School of Social Work, where we got our wonderful Dr. K from, Miss Brandy, Miss Mario, and we would like to thank Miss Adams and Dean Postmas all for their help with the Healing Youth Alliance. And definitely, we're going to give a huge thank you to the Maryland School of Social Work intern mentors that we have that work with us in higher. So, Miss Anat. Ooh, Anaya, Miss Michaela, Miss Janaea, and Miss Candice, thank you all for your hard work, for dealing with us all through the presentations before, the good, the bad, the crying, the laughing. Thank you all for your work and staying with us through this Healing Youth Alliance process and making us into the ambassadors that we are. And what would it be if we didn't give thanks to the OGs? So the OG high ambassadors are cohort 1 and 2, and basically cohort 3 will eventually become OG ambassadors once they've gone through this conference and have graduated, done a couple of presentations. They'll get used to it and they'll have higher under their belt, locked and tucked, and they'll officially be OG ambassadors. So we not original gangsters, but I mean we kind of is in a way, but we just the OGs of higher, and we've been through the same process before. We're just like well scripted in the way of higher and have done many trainings. So that's just kind of what the OG stands for. It's just like you've been through everything you need to go through with higher. You've been trained, like you've been certified basically. So it's just like bam, it's just like that stamp, that mark of establishment basically for higher. And now we want to give a thank you to our fiscal sponsors. So we want to give a thank you to Cigna and the Family League of Baltimore. So before we get into introductions and like the nitty gritty of the conference and the presentations, it would be wrong for us not to give a little history of Haya. So Haya was established in March 2020 with the first cohort of higher ambassadors. They the real OGs. Like they like the elders. So they probably gonna get that elder title when we like 15 cohorts deep. But they're the elders of higher, and they started this all out with between Heart Smiles, the Black Mental Health Alliance, and the University of Maryland School of Social Work, like y'all heard before. And Haya is a youth organization that is focused on mental health, trauma. We decreasing stigmas. We talk about a little bit of everything, but just anything under that mental health, trauma, healing centered engagement, anything under that branch, that umbrella of like healing aspect. We just touch on all of that. So any aspects of just mental health and healing, we got y'all and all of that. So we've had 2 conferences so far. We've had over 1,000 participants. I don't know if y'all seen in the chat, but we had somebody watching all the way from Southern California. So Higher just it gets deep, and we reach our arms like a little bit of everywhere. So this is the third conference that we're having, and we're planning on having many more. Higher is expanding big time. So stay tuned for that. But that's just the history of Higher, y'all.
Peace, Healing Youth Alliance. This is Mayor Brandon Scott. As we know, our communities experience traumas every day, from systematic racism, gun violence, and right now the COVID-19 pandemic. It is often a daily battle for us to cope with and heal from our experiences. That's why the work that you are doing through Healing Through Action is more important than ever. As mayor, I'm committed to improving the lives of Baltimoreans through a lens of public health, especially for our youth. From the Elijah Cummings Healing City Act to the work that you all doing, I know that Baltimore has a promising and healthy future ahead. I commend you and am so proud of your actions. As we continue to navigate our daily hardships, I encourage you to stay safe, stay healthy, and take care of yourselves and your neighbors. I'm here to support you through every step of the way. Thank you. Peace.
So after that amazing video from Mayor Brandon Scott, definitely a huge thank you to him for all his support within Haya. Definitely, as y'all can see from the video. I know when we first got it and we seen the video, cohort 1 and 2, like I almost cried because I was just like, I'm on it because this video is directed to me. But now we're gonna get into introducing cohort 3. So drop all the love in the chat, y'all. Hype them up so that they can brush away all their nerves. But definitely we're about to introduce cohort 3, and first up we have Alicia, who's going to introduce herself and what she's presenting on.
Hey y'all, my name is Alicia. Tonight I'll be presenting on body image in the Black community and specifically within Black youth. So we're going to be talking about a lot of topics. We're going to be talking about different perspectives like celebrities, our influence, and all that type of stuff. So I'm so excited. Ours is going to be so fun. Y'all don't want to miss it, so come to ours.
Yes, y'all heard it. So go to Alicia room if y'all want to hear more about her topic and learn some more good information. So next we got up is Jordan and Janaya.
Hi, everyone. Oh, Janai, you want to introduce yourself? Okay, well, while Janai is trying to figure that out, hi everyone, my name is Jordan. Today we will be presenting on how hip hop and rap culture affects mental health and self-image within the Black community. So if you want to get some music history, get some good vibes, some good graphics, then you could come over to our room. We'll see y'all around 6:30.
Yes, thank you, Jordan and Janaya. Y'all know this wouldn't be the virtual world if we didn't have some tech difficulties. But next up we have Soul and Kendra.
Hi everyone.
Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Soul, and this is my lovely partner.
Kendra. Nice to meet everyone. We really would love for you guys to come and check out our presentation. It is about sex trafficking in the African American community, specifically targeting African American women. And I'll let Soul take away the rest.
Yeah, so if you guys want to learn more on human and sex trafficking and how it affects our community and how we could use that information to heal our community, our young girls, our young women, please click our link and come watch us present because you will not be disappointed. Thank you guys. See you
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you, Soul and Kendra. Next up, we have Kaylee and John.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kaylee, here with my partner John. We're going to be presenting on eating disorders. It'll be amazing if y'all joined our room because it's like a really great presentation and y'all wouldn't want to miss out on that.
Hey everybody, my name is John. A lot of you know me, a lot of you don't. But my name is John. Some people call me Baby Barack. And as Kaylee said, we will be presenting on eating disorders in Black households. It's not really talked about, so we just want to shed some light on it. And if you guys want some more awareness on it, I suggest you guys join our room.
Y'all, so just like a little information before we get into our next introduction, I will explain to y'all how to get to all these amazing rooms and see all these wonderful presentations and topics. So I hope y'all don't think that I'm just leading y'all into a blind spot. There will be further instructions right after we get through all the introductions. So next we have Chelsea.
Hey, y'all. My name is Chelsea Gasque, and I will be presenting on mental health in the school system and how it pertains in African American youth. So I'm going to be talking about the best high school in Baltimore City, City Forever, and I'm going to be talking about the number one HBCU, Spelman College. So if you want to hear more about that, make sure you come and join my room.
Thank you, Chelsea. And next up we have Charity and Ro.
Hey y'all, my name is Charity Fisher, and today we're going to be unpacking colorism and its effects and learning to love the skin that we're in. And yeah.
What's good, everybody? It's Jarrell, but most people call me Rel. And as my partner Charity said, our presentation will be on colorism. And just to get it in your head real quick, have you ever really had a presentation on colorism? And if it took you more than 2 seconds to think about it, just come on and join our presentation because we're going to break it all down for you. So we'll see you there.
Period.
Y'all, and last but not least, we have Raquel, Yolanda, and Denim.
Hi, everyone. I'm Denim Fisher, and I will be presenting on the importance of therapy for Black men. Come join us.
Hey y'all, I'm Raquel. My group and I are presenting on the importance of therapy for Black men. And if y'all want to see the most popping presentation, you don't even have to go anywhere. We'll start presenting for y'all soon, and I can't wait.
Hey everyone, my name is Yolanda. Me and my group, we're going to be presenting on the importance of therapy for Black men. And like Raquel said and Dana, if y'all want to see the best presentation, stay right here. Y'all don't got to go nowhere.
Thank you, y'all. And that was the last of our introductions. And like I promised y'all, we're going to get into the next steps real quick. So, in the chat, keep your eyes open because there will be a link drop that will take y'all to a Google Doc. And this Google Doc will have all the links to the presentation. So it's just like the holy grail of like the system of links. So when you get to the Google Doc, it will have all the links for all the presentations. You'll be able to see the titles of the presentations and choose what room you want to go to. Y'all can hop around. Y'all can play it tag, whatever y'all want to do. If you like more than one topic of presentations that you heard on here, you can go to two rooms. So if you got multiple devices, then get on multiple ones because I'm gonna be on like six at one time. So do what y'all please with whatever rooms y'all want to go to, but at the very end your presenters will also remind you, but I want y'all to also keep a mental note that you will come back here to the main room to hear all the important and closing information. So there will be a link in the chat, y'all. Click the link. It's the holy grail. So it's going to have a link to everything else you need to get to for as presentations. And then once your presentation is over, you'll come back here. So the link is now in the chat. So make sure y'all click it and choose your rooms. I hope y'all enjoy your presentations. And if you would like to see Raquel, Yolanda, and Denim present, then y'all can just stay right here. Or y'all can come back and hop back and forth, like whatever y'all gonna do. But stay here if you would like to see them present. I'm excited, and I'll see y'all later. Thank y'all for allowing me to host and for me to run my mouth. And good luck to all the cohort 3 ambassadors. Y'all gonna do so well. I'm proud of y'all. And I'm just so excited. So we're gonna get started in just about a few minutes. We're gonna let everybody get to their rooms and do all of that stuff. So while we wait real quick, how y'all doing? Like, how about y'all? How are y'all? Cause y'all the presenters. I just want to check on y'all real quick. How y'all feeling? Y'all excited? Y'all nervous? What?
I'm gonna go first. I'm a little nervous but excited. I know we got a good crowd. I know we have everyone here watching, and this is my family, y'all. So I'm a heartbeat, so I feel at home, and I'm excited for y'all to learn the new information.
Same here. I'm very happy and I'm nervous, but I know that I've did a lot and it definitely is going to pay off.
Hey y'all, I'm feeling great. I'm just having a little bit of technical difficulties, which I'm trying to work out right now, but I am so beyond excited to share this presentation with y'all.
Yeah, so I see some questions in the chat really quick that I'm gonna answer. So I see, how do we get back here afterwards? So whatever Zoom you join, you basically just leave that Zoom room after that presentation is over, and then you'll come back to this YouTube live. And if like you can't find a link, if somebody sent you a direct link, um, you can just go to YouTube on whatever device you're on and type in the search bar, Heart Smiles MD, and then the Higher Conference if you go under lives. But the Higher Conference should pop right up, and then you can click on it, and we'll be back here. Also, the link is in the chat to get to any of the rooms. So the link will take you to a Google Doc, which will have the link to all the presentations. So if you're looking to get to that hip hop room, once you click on that link that's already in the chat, it's going to take you to that Google Doc, and then you can just look for the hip hop room. I'm not sure what the exact name of the topic is, but you just click on that hip hop room. It probably do exactly say that, but you click on the hip hop room, and it'll take you straight to that Zoom link. And then once you're done, you leave that Zoom, and then you come back to the YouTube live.
Oh, we didn't ask you, Gemma, how you doing? How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. Today been a good day. I got like 10 assignments to do like this week before Thursday, but I'm slowly but surely getting them done. They all gonna be done on time, of course, but I'm just like kind of stretching them out. But today has been good. I got approved for my LLC today, so I got all my information back after dealing with the IRS and all the employee number. I don't know. Look, I just know I had to fill out stuff, so I filled it out, and I paid what I had to pay, and I got my application all through, so it's official. I'm officially Slim's Art Creations LLC. So I'm just getting my website up. Got it all done so I could be able to sell products and all of that online. So I'm excited. So it's like a new beginning for me. So I'm excited about that. But that was definitely kind of like the highlight of my day. So getting all that paperwork and stuff back.
Congrats to you. That's a big accomplishment. I'm
Yes.
proud of you.
Yes, I'm just so excited about tonight. I don't know which room I'm gonna go to. Like I'm gonna stay here and watch y'all's, but I definitely gotta pop into a couple of different rooms. So I'm excited. I'm ready to see what y'all got in store for us with these long presentations. Because I know y'all just been through like a lot, like all the training. Y'all know I know how it is because I went through it. But like the training, it all pays off tonight. So this is definitely y'all time to show everybody what y'all been working on and all that y'all been doing behind the scenes. So I just can't wait to see it. Like I just know tonight is just gonna be just like top tier A1. Ken
Yes.
said now we gotta
I
fill out
agree.
prints together. Yes.
Yes,
Hey,
I'm
Dr.
excited.
Lee. All right, that's my cue when y'all slides pop up. So see y'all. Have a great presentation. Love y'all.
Well, hey everyone. My name is Yolanda.
And my name is Raquel, and today we're going to be bringing to y'all this awesome presentation about the importance of therapy for Black men.
And let's get right into it.
So we're going to start off with some introductions. So for me, I guess I'll go first. So hey everybody, my name is Raquel. My interests include drawing, music, nature, all that type of stuff, as well as collecting crystals, taking care of my plants, And I also enjoy helping others while prioritizing myself and, self-care, things like that. And another one of my hobbies is spreading positivity on Instagram.
Hi, everyone. I'm Denim Fisher. I'm a 16-year-old writer that loves her family. And in my spare time, I enjoy educating myself and advocating for equity and equality.
Hey everyone, my name is Yolanda. I'm a fellow heartbeat. If y'all don't know who I am, I enjoy painting and being around people that I love. And I also have a podcast for Love Your Body where I talk about self-love, self-confidence, and ways to love your body. Y'all can find that on Spotify, Apple Music, and many more apps. So now we're going to jump into our table of contents. And this is an overview of everything you guys will be expecting for today's presentation. We'll give you guys a second to look over it. So now we're going to move on to our icebreaker. So for today's icebreaker, we have a following image with a question. And the question is, what does the client's body language suggest? And you guys can type that in the chat while I give you guys my answer. The client looks very happy and he looks like he's in a comfortable area and he looks like he's having a good session with his therapist. What about you, Raquel Denim?
I think that he seems really open. His body language suggests that he's very comfortable and happy to start the conversation. And he doesn't seem, like reserved or off in any type of way. He looks really happy to be in this session.
I highly agree. I love the fact that he's smiling. Perhaps his therapist gave him an excellent solution. And I just think it's an amazing thing how both of them are Black men, so they can culturally relate to one another and, unlock some new opportunities. So they look like they're having a great time.
Yes. So the client does look very happy, and Cam said he looks enthusiastic. Yes, he looks excited. Tracy said the body language suggests that he's very happy with the session. Yes. So you guys all basically said everything you said overall. So now we're gonna move forward to our next slide.
All right, y'all. So to kickstart this presentation, I'm going to be discussing a shocking statistic that was taken from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, which we hear abbreviated to SAMHSA. In one of their 2019 mental health surveys, it was found that only 9.8%, y'all, of Black males are getting mental health help. Now, if you do the math, there's about 20 million Black men in this country. 9.8% of that is about 1 million of the 20 million in this country. And let that sink in for a minute, because that is absolutely astounding. But one of the biggest contributors to this statistic is the mental conditioning that we see in the Black community, which we will be discussing further in the next slide. So this segment is all about said mental conditioning, which is more formally referred to as stigma surrounding mental health within the Black male population. But in order to identify, correct, and get past these stigmas, we need to be able to understand what it is. So by definition, a stigma is a cluster of negative attitudes and beliefs that motivate the general public to fear, reject, avoid, and discriminate against people with mental illness. Now, stigmas are extremely common within the Black community, and we've added a list right here on this slide. So drop, a comment in the chat if you've ever experienced these stigmas, if you've heard them said to you or said to another child, adult, it doesn't really matter. As long as you've heard it, make sure to drop that in the chat and let us know how it made you feel. So some stigmas that are very common are be a man, protect your masculinity, what happens in this family stays in this family, you're not crazy, are you? Aren't you ashamed? And only weak men go to therapy. Now, these phrases may sound familiar to you. Like I said, maybe you've heard them before, maybe you've told them to somebody without realizing how big of an impact that it leaves. But by spreading these misconceptions around our families and communities, we are subconsciously brainwashing people, and especially young Black boys, into believing that these are like almost like a way of law or like something to live by, because they take this, you're a young impressionable child, you take things like this seriously. And if you've ever shared these, I'm sorry to say, but you are a part of the problem. And it's okay, because a lot of the time it's because of the way we were brought up, etc. But it's still not right. And in return, these young Black boys hear these stigmas, and in return, they will experience their emotions and they'll shut down, they'll deny needing help, and overall, they'll just refuse to talk about their emotions. Plus, when you consider the fact that most Black people are never corrected on these false beliefs surrounding therapy and mental illness, you do get a lot of them that carry these misconceptions and weight and, negative thoughts into their adulthood. And this right here explains the large percentage of Black men who spend most, if not all of their lives mentally untreated because, one, they're unaware of any mental illnesses that they may or may not possess, and two, they don't want to be perceived as weak, crazy, shameful, or feminine if they happen to, cry while they're in their therapy session. They don't want to be judged, is what I'm saying. But on the bright side, to cheer this up a little bit, we have included a great example of someone who sought therapy and flourished while attending. I don't even need to say his name. If you're Black, you know who this man is. He was, he grew to fame on, his appearance on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But, in his later career, he revealed in his book titled Will that he had a very tough upbringing. He had a really bad relationship with his father. It was very toxic. And he even went into detail saying, like, he wanted to harm his father and even kill him. So that explains a lot of bottled up anger that he didn't have an outlet to, release all of this. And it bottled up to the point where he wanted to actually murder his father. And that's his words. So, but later in his older adult life, he beat the odds, y'all. Claps for him. He unlearned his stigmas and he taught himself healthy habits and coping mechanisms through therapy. And he's living proof that seeking therapy and mental health help is nothing to be afraid of, and it actually has real benefits.
And I know when Raquel told me about these stigmas, I thought about how negative and unproductive they are and how degrading they are to one's identity. So it's so important that when you come across these stigmas, or if you hear someone reciting the following phrases or something else that is not included on this list, that you immediately act and point out the flaws in these things, because we have to seize this behavior. Otherwise, it'll be an ongoing cycle, and an ongoing cycle turns into behavior that is normalized. And then that equates to a generation that is traumatized. So it's so important to stop these things once you see them.
Yes, personally, before Raquel did her slides, I did not know there were so many stigmas around Black males, especially growing up with 4 brothers. I have a lot of siblings, and I know they heard a lot of these stigmas, like be a man, you're not allowed to cry. So it makes them create an emotional voice where they seem like they can't even cry or be vulnerable whatsoever.
Yes. I agree.
Yes, and we see in the chat that Devin Smith said that he has heard be a man a lot, and that is very uncalled for and not okay.
Yeah, I don't think that we talk about, it's not like discussed enough how, big of an impact that can leave on a young man. And, I'm really sorry that you had to go through that. And I'm sure that wasn't the first time or the last time that you heard something like that.
Yes, and Maurice also said in the chat that being a real man is a meaning to what you're going through. And it's okay, it is okay to cry, and it's okay to say something that, like, when you're wrong.
Yes, I love that you pointed that out, and I love that you understand that, because that's exactly what we want to see. We want to see these unlearning of these stigmas, and I love to see stuff like that.
Yes, and like he said, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay. You guys can break these stigmas and be vulnerable. It's you're a man when you cry. It's okay to be vulnerable, guys.
Okay, so we're going to proceed into our next topic.
So this is the trigger warning slide. So for the following slides, it will contain conversation about sexual abuse and disfigurement. If at any time you need to step away or even silence this presentation for the sake of your mental health, please do so. And remember to take care of yourselves, y'all.
So I will be elaborating on dehumanizing acts that have occurred through history to Black men. So oftentimes we hear, sayings and phrasings of, oh, why are you this way? And, how can you change this? And what's wrong with you? But we never look at the historical part. And history is so significant because it's something that we cannot erase or alter, and it is set in stone. So, emasculation is the act of depriving a man of his role or identity in society. So, in the 19th century, during slavery, this looks like restricting a man from the access to wearing pants. So, specifically, men had to wear long dresses that draped above their ankles all throughout the winter. And as the spring and summer months approached, this long dress would then turn into a shirt, and it was shortened at this point. However, we hear a lot of things oftentimes of how slaves had to purposely wear rags to degrade them. And yes, that is valid. However, this act of men wearing dresses specifically was made to ridicule and mock them in public, and it was not something that was, caused in a non-purposeful way. So this was the act of degrading a man, and especially, restricting him from the access of wearing pants is totally awful. And then also treating him as if he's property and as if he doesn't have feelings is another thing that adds to his trauma. So in the middle, we see how Black men were forced to watch their wives be sexually assaulted. Absolutely disgusting. So, specifically, some of them were forced to watch their wives or their relatives, like a sibling. And according to the Lumen Organization, by 1860, just over 10% of the slave population was mulatto. So, our African ancestry was genetically modified due to rapes, and that is absolutely wicked. And the fact that women had to endure this is not okay, but also the fact that men had to watch it just adds on to the trauma, because you couldn't act and you couldn't say no and you couldn't tell them stop. You just had to watch it go on and on. And that is dehumanizing, because that's exposing somebody to something that is not human like. It's absolutely disgusting. Now, with castration, that was the removal of testicles. So we see how they were deprived of wearing pants and publicly ridiculed. They were forced to watch their wives be sexually assaulted. Absolutely horrifying. But also, their testicles were removed. So, this made it to where they could not have children. And one of the birth given rights and one of the human rights that we are supposed to have the access to is to produce offspring. However, they could not produce this offspring, so that is taken away from their rights over and over and over, and it's extremely traumatizing because you cannot speak out about it. So we're going to proceed into some other things that was done. So actually, sorry about that. So, reclaiming power. So, Jeffrey Williams, also known as Young Thug, has displayed how versatility allows for freedom of expression. So, on the left hand corner, we have a picture of his album, and he has on a blue dress, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love the color, and it looks great on him. And in the right image, we see how he wears sweatpants and a nice lime green coat with boots. And he is someone that is not afraid to showcase his versatility. And I think this is an absolutely amazing thing. This is an absolute amazing thing because he is reclaiming his power. So historically, the Black man has been made to feel like, this monster and this terrible person for wearing this dress that was forced upon us. However, we see here he's reclaiming his power. So he's reversing the idea of what the dress was originally made for. So I know in the morning when I get dressed for school, I'm very versatile. Some days I like wearing sweatsuits. My mom is my stylist. She's amazing. But some days I wear sweatsuits and some days I wear dresses and some days I wear skirts. So I don't think about gender when I put on my clothes. I don't think like, oh, this is going to make me feel like a boy. No, it's not, because clothing, although it did not have the connotation of genderless in the 18th century and 19th century as well, but now clothing is genderless. So tell me in the chat how you guys display your versatility, and that might be through hairstyles, clothing, makeup. Just tell me how you do that, and I would love to read some chats out loud. And Yolanda and Raquel, can you guys tell me how you showcase your versatility?
So I know for me, I love expressing my versatility by my hair. I love switching out my hair and switching the way I dress my clothes. Sometimes I want to wear some sweatpants, or sometimes I throw on a skirt. So it's all the way how I feel personally. So that's some of the ways I express my versatility.
Yes, y'all really took the words right out my mouth. I feel like I don't have any original statement anymore because y'all done took all the words out my mouth. But I agree. I really do express myself through my hair or through my clothes. Sometimes I don't feel like, trying to look cute for anybody. So I'll just throw on sweatpants and a hoodie and some Crocs and I'm out the door. And I don't feel any less pretty than I do when I'm all dressed up in a dress or, in a cute girly outfit, because to me, like Denim said, clothing is genderless at this point.
Yes, and some people are sharing in the chat how they display their versatility. Madison is saying that she displays her versatility through clothing as well. Her clothing helps her express herself beyond words, and I highly agree because when I put on a new outfit every day, it really just depends on my mood and how I feel for that day, but I don't ever say like, "Oh, I'm not going to put that on." That's a boy thing. So,
Madison also said her hair as well, and it's something important that she values, and it's also very important to her as well.
yes, that is so good. So now we're going to move along into some other acts that were done. So this gets into the perception of the Black man and the association of Blackness with violence. So in the center, we see a wanted poster that was published by Digital Public Library of America. And this is a wanted poster for a enslaved individual by the name of Aaron. However, we also see in the same sentence that it says a or ape. So, and there was also a $500 reward if he was captured and brought back. So, the name Aaron and ape, when I immediately saw that, I thought that it was absolutely wicked and uncalled for because those two names are not versatile and those two names are not interchangeable. His name is Aaron. However, they also called him Ape. So I know that the font is tiny, but in the description below of the names, it says that Aaron had long arms and he leaned forward, so they considered him to be ape like, quote unquote. However, that was very problematic because the word ape is associated with aggression, domination, and the act of being territorial. So, associating this man with this term that is not even his name is not okay because you're stereotyping him just because of the skin that he has been born with, something that he has no control over, something that is actually beautiful. And the fact that, he leans forward when he walks, that has nothing to do, once again, with an ape. An ape is an animal, and Aaron is a human being. So comparing them to one another is definitely unjust. And then On the right hand side, we see some other derogatory slurs that were birthed in the mid 18th century and early 19th century. So, specifically, the word brute, that was a word that came before thug. So, brute was used to identify Black men that were deemed as threats to white women. So the name brute was included in ads and magazines and newspapers. So if a interracial couple was seen, this Black man would receive so much backlash from society due to being seen with a white woman, which the white woman is deemed as the most precious and prideful and most thing in the world. So this was definitely not okay. And then we see the word thug. So thug is used in modern terms, in modern times. And thug specifically was used to point out a Black man that is again violent. And we have seen how this has been used by numerous politicians, and it's definitely not okay because these are individuals that are considered leaders and positions of power. However, they're doing these awful things. So, moving along.
Okay, y'all. Thank you so much, Denim, for blessing us with that spiel about, the perception of the Black man. It was very informative. But this next segment will be about Jay-Z, who is a very prominent figure in the Black community, and we're just gonna hear what he has to say about therapy.
This album sounds to me like a therapy session. It's in a sense. Have you been in therapy?
Yeah.
First off, how does Jay-Z find a therapist? Not in the phone book, right?
No, dude, great friends of mine, friends of mine who've been through a lot and, come out on the other side as like whole individuals.
What was that like being in therapy? What did you talk about that you had never acknowledged to yourself or talk?
I grew so much from the experience. But I think the most important thing I got is that everything is connected. Every emotion is connected and it comes from somewhere. And just being aware of it in everyday life puts you at such an advantage. You realize that, if someone's racist toward you, it's not even about you. It ain't about you. It's about their upbringing and what happened to them and how they led them to this point. Most bullies bully. It's happened. Oh, you got bullied as a kid, so you're trying to bully me. I understand.
Right.
And once I understand that, instead of reacting to that with anger, I can provide a softer landing. And maybe, oh man, are you okay? I was just saying, there was a lot of fights in our neighborhood that started with, what you looking at? Why you looking at me? You looking at me? And then you realize, you think I see you. You're in a space where you're hurting and you think I see you, so you don't want me to look at you. And you don't want me to see you in such a you don't want me to see your pain. So you put on this shell of this tough person that's really willing to fight me and possibly kill me because I looked at you. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that and understanding that changes life completely.
Was that a moment that came from therapy?
Yeah, just realizing that, oh my goodness, these young men coming from they're just in pain. But you have to survive. So you go into survival mode. And when you go into survival mode, what happened? You shut down.
Right.
You shut down all emotions.
Right.
So even with women, you got shut down emotionally, so you can't connect. And then now all things happen from there. Infidelity.
You can't connect because you can't connect because of the way you feel about yourself, you mean?
Yes. In my case, it's deep.
Right.
All right. So in the video, Jay-Z talks about how most bullies bully due to hurting. And it brings us to how hurt people hurt people. Y'all can tell me in the chat what stood out to y'all in the video. And Raquel and Denim, y'all can tell me the same.
So I know what stood out to me was when Jay-Z said how a lack of connection stems from experiencing trauma and not knowing how to solve it. So I found that to be very relevant because we have to be able to connect with our lives and the people around us. However, our trauma and not healing it prohibits that from occurring. So it's just very significant to work on yourself individually because you never know how you can impact everyone else around you if you don't solve your own issues first. So at that point, it becomes a you thing.
I agree. Similar to, what Denham just said about it being a youth thing. What stood out to me was when he said that a lot of fights in his neighborhood started because people would get angry that they were being looked at by other people. And, at first you're thinking like, why are you getting upset that I'm looking at you? But it's really deeper than that. And they think that you're seeing them in a vulnerable state because that's really what they are. They're vulnerable and, they're self-conscious and, they don't want other people to see their pain like the therapist quote unquote said. So that was what stuck out to me the most.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next slide. So now we're going to talk about why Black men face greater mental health challenges. In this article by Hart LSC, he focuses on how many men have not been told how to process or even talk about their emotional experiences, furthering a sense of isolation, anger, and even resentment. For these men, this creates an emotional voice that can sometimes manifest in seeming shut down in relationships and friendships. A study found that Black males had the highest increase in suicide attempts compared to any other race in the group. For an example, increasing 80%, hear me out, 80% amongst Black males. The study's authors said that young Black men financially hardship among other stressors and may have untreated mental health needs. So there's also a lack of Black therapists to even speak to young Black men about the hardships that they face. So even if Black males want to talk about their untreated mental health needs, there's not enough Black therapists to even go around. How do you guys feel about that, Raquel and Denham?
I find that, it's very sad that men are feeling isolated because they're not receiving the help that they need. And this furthers anger and resentment. So I think that that's not okay because some people, when their anger and resentment builds up, they don't know how to solve it or they don't know how to say something is wrong and they'll project it amongst other people. And that's unfair to those people because they weren't the cause of their trauma. So this just really expresses the importance of seizing and learning to dismantle, the traumas that you've been through once having children. Now, I know that, like I said earlier, you cannot change the past and you cannot change something that has happened to you. And I know that Devin Smith said in the chat that very true, it's definitely a you thing. Now, when I said that earlier, I wasn't trying to negate anyone's experience, but the part of receiving the help that you need and not making anyone else feel less than due to your trauma, that becomes a you thing. So that is the greatest takeaway.
Well said, Denham. But what really stuck out to me was the piece when Yolanda was saying that a lot of young men are feeling like shut down in relationships and in friendships. And I felt this completely. Of course, I'm not a man, but I do, I've been around a bunch of men in my life and boys and all of that. And I feel like a lot of them, especially in this generation, tend to not really open up. Like there's really no connect. And anybody in the chat, we want to hear y'all too. This is a conversation between us and y'all. So, feel free to pitch in the chat. We love to hear y'all answers. But yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking. Like I definitely see the shutdown and the disconnect. It's like a wall in between us. It's really weird.
Yes, and Devin is so active in this chat, y'all. Like he keeps on commenting. He
Yes.
said that suicide has the misconception that people who commit suicide are weak. I definitely agree, and that's why it's important to dismantle these types of stigmas. Because saying that, oh, someone committed suicide, so they must have been a weak person. No, that's why it's important to receive the help that you need. And unfortunately, not everyone has the means to channel that voice and speak up and say that they need help. So it's so important to check in on your friends, like just a text message or like, how are you doing today? And I know that oftentimes we'll say we're okay, but deep down inside we're not okay. So I would express the importance of having these conversations. And although you might be uncomfortable, sometimes you have to be uncomfortable to become comfortable. So, or uncomfortable to propose or, gather or create a solution that works for your issues. So it's so important to talk.
I agree. And it's really important because a lot of people that I know have that committed suicide, I would have never known. And like, I literally was just so confused as to why they felt that that was something that they needed to do as a last resort, because I thought that I was there for them. And it's like Denim said, just echoing her point, that it's really important, y'all, to check on your friends. I just want to say that again, because it's really more important than it is portrayed to be.
Definitely. So now we're going to move forward to the next slide, and we're going to be talking about what is self-care. So before I start this all, tell me how y'all practice y'all self-care. So self-care is a practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's own health. The form of self-care is very important and needed for all genders, but it's very important that Black men experience self-care for their well-being and mental health. So how do y'all practice self-care? I know for me, I love taking walks, journaling, taking time on my own, lighting a candle, and just relaxing after a long day. And remember, y'all, self-care can be whatever eases your mind.
Yes. For me, similar to you, I like to journal my thoughts or do a video, and just like a video diary if it's just too much, to say, because sometimes I have a lot on my mind. But if I'm not journaling, I'm usually saging my room, clearing out all that energy. I'll light it like an incense or something like that. And like you said, similarly, I need to be alone a lot of the time just so I can recharge my social battery and my mental battery, because it gets drained really easily. And yeah.
Yes, everything that you guys said are some great things. And I know for me, I need to start working in a self-care regimen consistently because I'm like always busy. But when I get the time, I found that I love bubble baths a lot. And I really love writing because I'm able to freely unleash my thoughts and my opinions without anyone's comment or perspective of how they feel. And I think that everyone's opinions and comments are so significant. So you have to, and I find that when I journal, it's very rewarding because the older I get, the more I revisit the pages and I see of where I was in a specific space in my life. And sometimes I can compare my now to my then. And it's like a growth process for me. So it's very insightful and super important. And I see that Donovan said in the chat that he practices his self-care by doing his eyeliner, and that is so amazing. The chat is like moving up, so I wasn't able to read your other things, but that is so good that you were practicing your makeup.
And also, y'all, we got Sydney on here. And if y'all don't know, she has a self-care page, and it's called Sydney Keys. She gonna put that in the chat. But she talks about ways to find your self-care journey and all that stuff. So y'all should check out Sydney. She's in the chat, y'all. So she gonna drop her at in the chat. And when you think about taking care of your mind and self-care, consider practicing like daily routines like morning meditation, like taking long walks, like we said, and learning a few positive affirmations. And affirmations can be anything like I am beautiful, I'll make it through the day. An affirmation can be whatever y'all put your mind into. And Sydney just dropped her ad in the chat. And for As Your Body, consider adopting a new exercise routine, whatever you want, and just eating healthier. Justin said in the chat, I practice my self-care by journaling. My thoughts are creating YouTube videos. Yes. And they dropped Sydney page in the chat, so y'all should check that out. So now we're going to move forward to our connections.
Hey y'all, so my connection to this topic really stems from being raised by my father. He did experience a lot in his childhood. He did have kind of a tough upbringing, and his response to that, because we know there's a lot of different trauma responses, his was to bottle it up, and he doesn't really talk about his emotions or his feelings, and naturally it's gonna kind of make a disconnect because he's not really opening up to me, and I don't feel comfortable opening up to him because it's like, who's gonna do it first type stuff. And I'm not placing any blame on him at all, because I do understand that it is a trauma response, but because of that, it has impacted my siblings and I. And I feel like kind of we're all slowly becoming emotionally unavailable, but I'm trying to save us from that. And that's why I wanted to talk about this topic personally, because I do have that connection to it. And I do find it very important to discuss our emotions. And hopefully one day I can get a big session between myself, my father, my sister, my brother, all of us, and we could all do one big therapy session and get everything out.
All right, y'all. So here's my connection. I know for me, growing up with four brothers and a dad, and watching them watching them struggle to find a healthy way to deal with their emotions, it took a big toll on me because I just watched them move with anger and not heal or, be vulnerable or ever come to me about anything. So it's like really the main reason why I stress the importance of self care and expressing every emotion that you feel.
I know for me, I connect to this topic through my dad. So my dad has experienced so much in his lifetime. He's an excellent father, and he definitely does express the need to be sensitive. However, because he has dealt with so much in his life, I can tell that he bottles it up because he carries around the stigma of be a man. And I think that, he's an excellent provider, an amazing person. However, this be a man stigma that he has continuously carried his whole life disregards his trauma. And I just want him to know that, you should never disregard anything you go through, because it's important that you talk about what has happened to you in order to grow. So I just want him to know that when he's talking about his issues, it's not, I'm hearing you, I'm listening. It's not a complaint. It's not, anything that I'm going to be like, oh, what's wrong with you? Like, no, I'm not going to judge. This is a judge-free zone. So
I love that you said that, Denim, because now that like you pointed out which specific stigma that he's holding on to, I'm thinking like I feel like my dad's is more like weak men go to therapy, or like how I mentioned in my part that I was saying that it's kind of like guys or men think that it's feminine or like overly feminine to cry and vent and release whatever they're going through. And yeah, that's definitely what's engraved in his mind.
Definitely. And I'm so happy because I have a little brother, and he's growing up to become so vulnerable and so open. And it makes me so happy because I'm happy that I was able to, like, help him. A lot couldn't help, like, my older brothers, but, like, oh my God, I'm about to start crying. I'm just so happy I was able to help him grow to where he at. And, like, he's just becoming such an amazing young Black man.
Yes, this is the stuff we want to see. Yeah, I don't want you to start crying, girl, but um yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about our call to action now. So, we want to build a company for the mental health of Black men. And we're going to do this by implementing the strategy of healing centered engagement. So, this is an approach that allows for collective healing from trauma caused by ongoing adversity, injustice, and slavery. So, implementing this healing centered engagement means effectively accommodating all styles of learning. So, for the visual style, visual learners need to see things in order to understand. So, that looks like Black men viewing images and graphs. And by graphs, I mean statistics. So, I said earlier, and I've been preaching this through the whole entire presentation, but you cannot erase history. However, it is helpful for when you're learning how to dismantle these traumas and stigmas that come up from history. So being able to visually see all of this unfold in front of you is such a great thing. Now, with The tactile style, individuals have to physically do things in order to understand. So this looks like the activities of cooking, yoga, painting, all types of those things. So to some, these are deemed as boring. However, doing such things are actually very healing and helpful. So healing centered engagement is a political appeal, how it has a political appeal. However, it also focuses on what you're good at as opposed to what has happened to you. So, what has happened to you is something that comes from trauma informed care. However, with healing centered engagement, that focuses on what you're good at. So, there's a lot of people that are good at cooking and painting and yoga. And even if you're not, still bonding as a collective is healing, and it leads to evolution of growth and identity, and all types of things are birthed from this one thing. Now, with auditory style, you need to hear things in order to learn. So that looks like listening to motivational speakers and videos. And as I said earlier, being able to see this history unfolds is such an amazing thing because you're able to learn, you're able to fully, educate yourself, and you're also able to grow and reach the highest level and the highest potential that you plan to go to. So I know for me, I when I ask somebody to explain something, sometimes I get confused and I'll say, "Oh, can you show it to me?" And it creates, a better sense of understanding. So the goal is to effectively reach a point where our pain becomes a component for growth and achievement. As I said earlier, we're not negating anyone's experience. However, eventually you do have to, eventually we do grow, and time tells. And this is, a great thing, because with healing centered engagement, it's no longer the I we're focusing on, we're focusing on we. So if one person is growing, and then next thing you know, there's 5 people that are growing, and then you'll have 20 people, and then a whole entire generation. So we're just collectively bonding, healing, growing, and, just living life. So in the chat below, tell me, God, tell me how this company will look like for you guys. And Yolanda and Raquel, do you guys want to add anything here? Do you think the company sounds great?
Yeah, I think this was beautifully said. And I mean, I don't think there's much more to it. It's pretty straightforward. And I think you said it greatly.
Yes, and I love our goal, and hopefully we're able to achieve the goal.
Yes. So these are our resources. So you guys, we don't have to say this. So if you guys wish to contact us, here are all the platforms that you can reach us through. For Gmail, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, everything is Healing Youth Alliance, and also for the website. So check that out if you guys have anything to say.
Thank y'all so much. Ooh, go ahead, girl.
You go ahead.
I was gonna say thank y'all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate all the feedback that was given in the chat. And yeah, just thank y'all for sticking around if y'all did. And yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Yes, thank y'all all for joining. I hope y'all learned something new from our presentation. Miss Joni just dropped a link in the chat for feedback, so make sure y'all click on that link and give us as much feedback as we need to improve our next presentation. Thank y'all.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching our presentation. We worked so hard on this, and we hope that you guys carry this in your heart and also in your mind. So,
and make sure don't go anywhere. Okay, we're not done yet, so don't leave and don't click out just because we finished our presentation.
And also,
yes, stay y'all butts here, y'all.
Yolanda. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I gotta regroup after that. Welcome back, everybody. Please stay on. We do have some final announcements, and then we're gonna let y'all go for the night. But we do have some final announcements, so we're gonna let everybody come back from their rooms, and then we're gonna get back into like ending off the conference. But while we're waiting for everybody to get back, does anybody have any questions about the presentation that you sat on? So if they have any questions for Yo-Yo, Raquel, and Denim, or Chelsea, John and Kaylee, or Rao, if y'all have any questions about the presentation, this is like y'all time to now ask about the presentations, or y'all can ask about questions about Haya because like Haya is doing a lot. So we're expanding. If you have questions about like us doing presentations for your organization or like a group of people, like if y'all got questions about anything, this is just basically like the free space for y'all to like talk and now ask us questions after we done gave y'all all this wonderful information tonight. How was y'all rooms though? While we waiting for questions to come in.
I can go first. So my room was really, really fun. I had some teachers in there, and then I had my spell house family in there, which made me even more happy because right after they left, I started crying. I was like, "Oh my gosh, all of my friends came." But my room was really nice. It was fun.
My room with John was really good. A lot of my friends and family came, which was really nice. I really appreciated that. Thank you all for coming. We did really good. We had a lot of people in the chat talking about how with their people that they know, and it was really good. I think it was really engaging, and they really enjoyed our Kahoot, which was really fun.
My room was really, really
Really
cool.
fun.
People kind of, at the end of it, everybody kind of understood the message that we were trying to get across. And people, it was two people in particular that had really good points that they like to, keep pointing out. So it was really good.
Okay, so I know Donovan had a question in the chat. He asked, "When's the next cohort?" So right now we got like 1,000 cohorts in the making. Sorry, no, I'm just messing with y'all. But we have about 3 cohorts coming within the next 4 months. I know right now we're working on the Anne Arundel cohort, which would technically be like cohort 4, and we're also working on a cohort with I think Department of Social Services, another cohort with this. I think Higher is supposed to be replicated in like almost every state, in the country. But like no, but Higher is thinking about being replicated in Las Vegas and other places all around. So Haya is just getting around. But we're definitely hoping to have another Baltimore City cohort soon. But Donovan, you're gonna be one of the first people to hear about it. So when we know, we're gonna let y'all know. But as of right now, we are having other cohorts in the mix of, getting up there and recruiting for them. So soon we'll have a link in the chat for y'all to do like a little survey. But if y'all do have any other questions, please drop them in the chat. Somebody, the Smith said, "What about the Montgomery County first?" Look, I don't know about that, but if you want it to happen, we can make it happen. So if you really like want that to happen, you can email the Healing Youth Alliance, and I'm pretty sure like it's gonna happen. Like we respond quick. We respond quick. We're a team, so. Olivia said she loved the presentation she attended discussing the hip hop / rap culture and that they all did an amazing job. Congratulations to all the participants. Good job. So y'all obviously getting all the love in the chat cohort 3. But if y'all do have any other questions, please ask them now before we close out for the conference. But still do stay here as we do have some last final announcements while everybody is still wrapping up their presentations. Hey Janaya, how was the presentation? I heard somebody just leave a review, so how was it?
It was really good. I was definitely happy to present about our topic, and it was really engaging. Everybody engaged, and they were giving a lot of feedback in the chat. So I want to thank everybody that was in our room for coming and supporting us. You guys were a great audience. I hope we were great presenters.
Yeah, so as I said, y'all, there's a link in the chat where you can give feedback for the presenters. So please click the link that was just dropped in the chat. The link is dropped by Heart Smile, so y'all can see it because it's all highlighted because we high tech like that. So click on the little where you see the little heart smiles highlighted thing. I know y'all see what I'm saying. If y'all can't see it, then maybe I'm just crazy. But definitely click on that link and it will take you to a feedback survey where you can give all feedback and y'all can leave all these wonderful reviews that y'all leaving in the comments in the form. So y'all can do that while we're waiting to close out. Please, if you're about to leave, make sure that you fill out that link that leads to the feedback. No, because we is high tech like that. Y'all know ever since we got on Restream that, like we just been up there high tech. Like with all the backstage stuff, that's just high tech. Because Miss Johnny said we had to get off Zoom, but I'm a Zoom fan, but whatever. All right, cool. So the link is back in the chat just for anybody coming back from presentations. It's a feedback survey. So please fill it out when you get the chance. So I know y'all been here and y'all waiting. Yolanda says she love her some restraint. I don't like it. Maybe it's just too many tech difficulties. But so what we're all here for is to basically just announce the graduation of cohort 3. So as a Pearl High ambassador of cohort 2, I just want to say congratulations and welcome to Higher. Y'all are now officially Higher ambassadors. Welcome. We are super proud of y'all. Y'all have done so much great work, and we are just like beyond excited for y'all to join the bigger, higher family. Even though y'all were already part of the family, but y'all know what we mean. Y'all gotta come to the big higher group chat now, and you'll be doing more presentations. You'll just be embarking your journey onto being a committed higher ambassador and doing more work for the community. So definitely a huge congratulations to y'all, and on behalf of cohort 1 and 2, I'm just welcoming y'all into the family. So if everybody can put claps and congratulations in the chat for cohort 3, y'all are officially family now. Thank y'all for going through that long rigorous process with us. Y'all definitely did it. And it was probably stressful, but it's definitely a memorable experience that you go through only once in a lifetime. So I know y'all happy that it's kind of like all said and done with now, and that y'all are official, and that all your paid work, all your hard work has paid off. So this is just welcoming our newest higher ambassadors. And then these are just further instructions on how you can help hire further on, going on from tonight. So I know some people is in the chat talking about cohorts in different counties, and I don't know all of them, so I'm not even gonna try to say none of them because all I know is Catonsville. But if you would like a cohort in your county, or you like a presentation or anything hire related that you would like us to come and do, then you can fill out that feedback form that's in the chat, and the link is dropped by Heart Smiles. It's the little highlighted name. And you fill out that form and you'll get more information, and you can also leave feedback for any presentations that you've seen tonight. And without further ado, we just want to give a big thank you to everybody that came on here and supported Higher, supported Cohort 3. Here's our contact information. Y'all can find us on Healing Youth Alliance at anything, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. The Gmail is Healing Youth Alliance. So for any more further information, if you have any more questions that maybe we didn't get to, or they just didn't pop up in your head, you can use these forms of contact to get in contact with the Healing Youth Alliance. And that's all we got for y'all tonight. So thank y'all for going with us through this process. Thank you to all the presenters. Thank you, Cohort 3. Thank you to all the participants, the watchers, everybody, family, friends. So thank you all for being here with us tonight.